Class is going on.
So this is our second class. Prior to this, we had lab class. So that has ended.
11:20. It's okay. Just wait for 1 minute, 1 2 minutes. We'll start. My voice is clear and audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anis or somebody, you please take care and send me the attendance, absent roll numbers.
Okay, so I'll just take a screenshot if possible, so that will be easy.
Okay, let us start with. We have developed this mathematical relation for bimolecular gaseous reactions. For bimolecular gaseous reactions, and I have told you that there are two components actually. One comes from the collision frequency, and the other one comes from the fraction of molecules having energy greater than or equal to threshold energy. And both these fractions or both these portions have temperature in it. And अगर कोई आपको बोलता है कि you just tell me what will happen to rate if you increase temperature, then definitely one can very easily tell that temperature, if you increase temperature, the rate will increase. But let us see whether these two temperature terms are both are important or only one temperature term is important. So let us analyze this rate expression uh, to a detailed extent. So we are going to start the class, today's class with that only. Okay, somebody wants to ask me something?
सर सर
Hmm.
सर वो पी का वैल्यू पी प्रोबेबिलिटी था ना यहाँ पर.
हाँ, प्रोबेबिलिटी और ओरिएंटेशन फैक्टर में बोला था आपको.
ठीक है सर.
Rate is equal to 2n square sigma square, then pi RT by m root over e to the power minus e by RT into p. Number, let me see, 4. Oh, sorry. Okay. So let us look into this part, that is the collision frequency. When see that, suppose let me write that rate at 310 by rate at 300, that will be equal to, you see, on the first part, n sigma r m pi सब तो constant है. So rate जो है that is proportional to root over of temperature. Am I correct? सही बोल रहा हूँ ना? Rate is proportional to root over of temperature. So R2 by R1, cannot I write that that is T2 by T1 root over? Can I write? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So let me write that 310 by 300. अच्छा, आप बोल सकते हो कि why you are choosing sir 300 and 310? I have told you that whenever we are saying temperature coefficient, we are actually taking the temperatures differing by 10 degree. So I have taken 10 degree. And another thing is that I should have taken 298, 308, but I have told you already that any two temperatures can be taken. 300 and 310 I have taken in the multiples of 10 just for making the calculations easier. So if you divide and take the root over, this comes out to be 1.015. So what it implies, this is actually, I am talking of effect of Z, collision effect of Z, collision frequency on rate, definitely. So rate at 310 is 1.015 times the rate at 300. तो बढ़ तो रहा है, रेट तो बढ़ ही रहा है, but is it significant? What you are expecting? We are expecting a hike of 2-fold, 3-fold, is not it? Am I correct? Yes, just a minute. चलो नहीं अच्छी अच्छी चलो नहीं किसी असुविधा नहीं तेल अच्छी तू तो पके आस पंडा दे फोन दे हाँ पंडा अच्छी तेल अच्छी किसी असुविधा नहीं हाँ अच्छा अच्छा किसी असुविधा नहीं आस ओके So is it clear? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So here I can conclude the effect is not very significant. Though increase in temperature has increased the rate, but the observed hike is not very significant. Okay, so effect is not significant. Let us look at the other side, that is effect of Boltzmann factor. Boltzmann factor. So let me again write that R310 by R300, that is equal to what? The other side, if you look at this part only, this will be e to the power minus e by 310R, e to the power minus e by 300R. सही है? Yes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
यहाँ पे you can do also one thing. If you R तो constant है, activation energy का value भी आप डाल सकते हो. Some value, arbitrary value, let's say we are substituting that into the power 5 joule. Yes?
एक्सक्यूज मी सर, तो सर ये पिछला वाले क्वेश्चन में जब आपने इफेक्ट ऑफ जेड बता रहे थे तो उस पे आपने बोल्ट्जमैन फैक्टर को कांस्टेंट ले लिया था डिवाइड करने का टाइम.
डेफिनेटली आई एम लुकिंग एट द इंडिविजुअल इफेक्ट्स. में एक्चुअली देखो इसमें दो टेम्परेचर टर्म है ना, एक तो कॉलिजन फ्रीक्वेंसी में एक टेम्परेचर टर्म है, दूसरा बोल्ट्जमैन फैक्टर भी टेम्परेचर टर्म है. मेरा एक्चुअली आई वांट टू आइडेंटिफाई दैट व्हिच टेम्परेचर टर्म प्रैक्टिकली is responsible for this significant influence. दोनों ही influence कर रहा है, means collision frequency में भी increase हो रहा है, fraction of molecules having energy greater than threshold energy भी बढ़ रहा है, दोनों बढ़ रहा है. But actually which one controls the rate? That is what I want to identify. समझ में आ रहा है?
यस सर.
मेरा वही इंटेंशन है कि देखने के लिए एक्चुअली ये दोनों ही सिग्निफिकेंट है या कोई एक टर्म सिग्निफिकेंट है. ओके, तो आप देखोगे आई हैव कैलकुलेटेड दिस वन टू बी 3.65. यू कैन चेक इट. यू सी R at 310 is 3.65 times the rate at 300. That means यही 10 डिग्री आपको देखो एक्सपोनेंशियल टर्म में कितना चेंज आपको देता है. ओके, so here I can conclude this is quite significant. Try to understand my point. That means if you increase temperature, collision frequency is increasing. I am not denying, but that is not influencing the rate significantly. What is influencing actually the rate? That is the increase in the fraction of molecules having energy greater than or equal to threshold energy. I think last time मैं आपको भी बोला था with respect to that Boltzmann factor, how the things happen. थोड़ा आपको मैं रिकॉल करा देता हूं आपको. बोल्ट्जमैन फैक्टर के रेस्पॉन्स में मैं आपको बोला था, अच्छा नहीं बोला था, टेम्परेचर इफेक्ट के ऊपर कुछ पहले नहीं बोला था, मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा है एक्चुअली. आई डोंट, हाँ यही है. कैन यू सी दैट? ये जो है फ्रैक्शन ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल्स हैविंग एनर्जी ग्रेटर देन और इक्वल टू थ्रेशोल्ड, ये जो बढ़ रहा है ना, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. नंबर ऑफ कॉलिजन्स बढ़ रहा है, वो इतना इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले नहीं कर रहा है. द मीनिंग इज दैट जो नंबर ऑफ कॉलिजन्स बढ़ रहा है वो रेट को इतना इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं कर रहा है. मैं अगर बोलूंगा कि टेम्परेचर बढ़ाने से नंबर ऑफ कॉलिजन बढ़ जाएगा, देयरफॉर रेट बढ़ जाएगा, नो, ठीक है बढ़ेगा रेट, बट ये जो सिग्निफिकेंट रेट इंक्रीज हो रहा है उसको वो एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर सकता. So increase in collision frequency is not actually the primary factor. Primary factor is increase in the fraction of molecules having energy greater than or equal to threshold energy. This is the simplest logic. ये important है, and exam में आपको ये segregate करके भी question आ सकता है. Are you getting my point? Yes.
Yes, sir.
तो let us conclude. Conclusion ये है कि if you want to explain the significant effect of temperature on rate, then this Boltzmann factor plays a very, very important role. Though increase in temperature increases both collision frequency as well as the fraction of molecules having energy greater than or equal to threshold energy, दोनों में hike होता है, but the second one actually controls. The rate is actually controlled by Boltzmann factor, not by collision frequency. Okay. So after the development of the mathematical relation, Arrhenius has realized this particular fact, that this Boltzmann factor is very, very important as far as effect of temperature on rate is concerned. So that is your the final conclusion. Okay. That means though both, note में लिख देते हैं, both collision frequency and fraction of molecules with threshold energy increases with increase of temperature. The second one primarily controls or primarily explains the significant effect of temperature on rate of a reaction. Am I correct? ये समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
तो इसके साथ थोड़ा आगे चलते हैं हम. तो आपका टेम्परेचर इफेक्ट तो हो गया. We have understood qualitatively also. We have understood. I have explained it before. Okay. Now थोड़ा आगे चलते हैं. And let me write Arrhenius equation. हाँ, tell me.
आप जो ये रेट निकाले थे ना, आप जो Z का वैल्यू निकाले थे, तब आप V एवरेज यूज कर रहे थे सर. V एवरेज और V रिलेटिव तो सेम होता है ना?
V एवरेज एंड V
रिलेटिव जो हम लोग को केटीजी में पढ़े थे.
V एवरेज एंड V रिलेटिव.
हाँ सर.
रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी.
हाँ सर, यहाँ पर वो दिया गया था.
कहाँ पे?
सर एक बुक में देखे थे सर, लेकिन आप जो फॉर्मूला यूज किए थे वही था, तो प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं होगा ना?
नहीं, एवरेज वेलोसिटी का फॉर्मूला में गलत लिखा हुआ है 8
नहीं सर, आपका फॉर्मूला सही है सर, लेकिन वहाँ पर वो V एवरेज के जगह वो V रिलेटिव देके लिखा हुआ था और कुछ नहीं.
रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी तो कुछ नहीं होता है. मॉलिक्यूलर वेलोसिटी
ठीक है तब सर, ठीक है सर, लेकिन आप Z11 के साथ साथ बोले थे सर आप Z12 निकालने के लिए सर, उसमें सर उसमें जो वो जो आप मोलर मास का दिए थे ना, M जो वैल्यू दिए थे, वहां पर हम दोनों अगर गैस का मास A और B होगा तो वहां पर AB बाई A प्लस B देके रिप्लेस कर देने से हो जाएगा, और वो कोलिजन डायमीटर थोड़ा सा चेंज करना होगा, A प्लस B देना होगा।
मैं कर दूंगा, आज मैं उसको कर दूंगा। दोनों के साथ साथ आपको ये भी करना है, मैं जो आपको बेसिक चीज बोला था कि whenever there are two molecules in a system, that means a bimolecular reaction with two different entities you are carrying out, then collision among self will never give rise to a reaction. So whenever you calculate the actual collisions which are responsible for product, then you have to deduct the collisions, self collisions from the total collisions. That is one extra thing you have to do. I will do it for you. I will show. And definitely that molecular mass has to be replaced by actually reduced mass. And collision diameter, we have to take the average of the collision diameter of self collisions. Okay, मैं बोल दूंगा आपको कैसे करना है, थोड़ा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड होगा बट बोल दूंगा कैसे करना है।
ठीक है सर।
वो प्रॉब्लम हो गया, मैं अभी याद आ रहा है मैं क्या क्या दिया था, मैं भूल गया था एक्चुअली। प्रॉब्लम तो कुछ नहीं दिया था ना,
आप वो जो शीट दिए थे वो बोले थे तो धीरे धीरे करने के लिए,
वो तो ठीक है ना,
और कुछ सर प्रॉब्लम नहीं था। अच्छा,
नहीं मैं सोचा कि कॉलिजन फ्रीक्वेंसी का शायद आपको एक प्रॉब्लम दिया था। एनीवे आज करेंगे। तो आरएनएस इक्वेशन एंड कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी, ये एक्चुअली कॉलिजन थ्योरी का थोड़ा व्हाट इज से थोड़ा मॉडिफाइड तो हम नहीं बोल सकते, रादर वी कैन से थोड़ा इजी अप्रोच ऑफ कॉलिजन थ्योरी है, क्योंकि आरएनएस को दो चीज यहाँ पे समझ में आ गया था। एक तो ये कि कॉलिजन फ्रीक्वेंसी इतना इंपॉर्टेंट मेरे लिए नहीं है, वो आरएनएस समझ गया था। रिगार्डिंग पी आरएनएस को तो वो तो उसको इग्नोर करके रखा था, तो पी के बारे में तो कुछ नहीं है। कॉलिजन फ्रीक्वेंसी को वो सोच रहा था कि कॉलिजन फ्रीक्वेंसी तो इतना सिग्निफिकेंट नहीं है, तो रेट का रिलेशन वो निकाल दिया उस विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू बोल्ट्जमैन फैक्टर, एंड ही हैज रिटन आरएनएस इक्वेशन एज के रेट कांस्टेंट इज इक्वल टू सम कांस्टेंट बना दिया इसको E by RT। ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड माय पॉइंट। तो बाकी फैक्टर जो इतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, Arrhenius has kept it as A Arrhenius factor. This is Arrhenius factor, often known as pre-exponential factor because it is just before the exponential term. कुछ ऑथर्स उसको फ्रीक्वेंसी फैक्टर भी बोलते थे बिकॉज इसका जो यूनिट होता था वो सेकेंड इनवर्स में है। बाकी दूसरा चीज आरएनएस समझ गया कि I should not tell it as threshold energy, rather I should tell it as activation energy। थोड़ा यहाँ पे समझना है। आरएनएस का जो पेरेंट इक्वेशन, एक्चुअली ये इक्वेशन जो है एंड ऊपर जो इक्वेशन हम लोग पढ़े हैं ये दोनों सेम ही है, दोनों सेम ही है। 4 you can make it 5, बट फर्क ये है कि जो इंपोर्टेंट नहीं है मेरे लिए मीन्स the portions which are not bringing any effective change, उसको हमने constant कर दिया। Do you understand what I'm saying?
हाँ सर।
एंड दूसरा चीज आप देखो, यहाँ पे थ्रेशोल्ड एनर्जी था, आप देख लो each, this is your energy axis, this is your reaction progress, आपको पता है already, I have told you this type of curves, energy of reactants, energy of products, this is actually threshold energy। You see each threshold energy and activation energy same?
हाँ सर, होना चाहिए
सेम, दोनों प्रोपोर्शनल है दोनों प्रोपोर्शनल है बट सेम है क्या?
नो सर।
अरे थ्रेशोल्ड एनर्जी जो है वो यहां से ग्राउंड से यहां तक है ना। आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? दिस इज योर थ्रेशोल्ड एनर्जी ना, इज नॉट इट?
हाँ सर।
तो व्हाट इज एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी?
सर ETH minus ER।
That means by existence, reactants have certain energy. So this is the average energy of reactants. This is the extra energy you need to convert reactant into product. That is known as activation energy. So what is activation energy actually? The excess energy than the average energy of reactants. Energy of reactants required to yield product. बहुत सारा तरीका है लिखने के लिए, बट यही कॉन्सेप्ट है कि आपको जो एक्स्ट्रा एनर्जी चाहिए देन द एवरेज एनर्जी ऑफ रिएक्टेंट्स टू कन्वर्ट रिएक्टेंट्स इनटू प्रोडक्ट, टू कन्वर्ट द एनर्जी बैरियर, टू ओवरकम द एनर्जी बैरियर और टू यील्ड प्रोडक्ट। समझ में आ रहा है मैं जो बोल रहा हूं? तो ओरिजिनल इक्वेशन में वो थ्रेशोल्ड एनर्जी था, अभी वो एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी कर दिया, क्योंकि आरएनए समझ गया था कि थ्रेशोल्ड एनर्जी की जरूरत है ही नहीं, क्योंकि मॉलिक्यूल का एनर्जी तो पहले से जीरो नहीं है ना। Are you getting my point? Yes. तो मॉलिक्यूल के पास कुछ तो एनर्जी है पहले से, तो हमको एक्स्ट्रा एनर्जी देना है टू कन्वर्ट देम इनटू प्रोडक्ट्स। सो मोर इज एनर्जी बैरियर, more is activation energy required and less is the rate. तो activation energy and rate के बीच में वो बोल रहा है कि there is a direct relation. तो जितना आपको ज्यादा एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी की जरूरत होगा, जितना एनर्जी बैरियर ज्यादा होगा उतना ज्यादा एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी की जरूरत होगा, एंड आपका जो रेट है वो कम होगा। यस यस
सर, ये ETH और अगर ETH और एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी अगर सेम नहीं है तो सर यहाँ पर ये K का वैल्यू आप बोले कि बोल्ट्जमैन से थोड़ा सा यही सेम ही है, लेकिन वो जो Z into P उसको यहाँ पर A से सब्स्टिट्यूट कर रहे हैं। सो तब सर E का वैल्यू में आप अगर ETH और EA सेम नहीं है तब ये दोनों इक्वेशन सेम कैसे होगा, K और वो बोल्ट्जमैन वाला का?
मैं सेम नहीं बोल रहा हूं, सिमिलर बोल रहा हूं। एग्जैक्टली सेम नहीं है, आप आइडेंटिकल तो नहीं बोल सकते, इक्विवेलेंट बोल सकते।
सर यहाँ पर K रेट कांस्टेंट ही है ना?
रेट एंड रेट कांस्टेंट दे आर प्रोपोर्शनल, मींस रेट एंड रेट कांस्टेंट, वेदर यू आर राइटिंग रेट और रेट कांस्टेंट, इट डज नॉट मैटर। आप रेट बोलो या रेट कांस्टेंट बोलो, बट आरएनएस जो मॉडिफाइड इक्वेशन निकाला, ये इक्वेशन का बेस ई है। रिलेशन 5 का जो बेस है वो रिलेशन 4 ही है, बट हम लोग प्लस 2 में ये रिलेशन को डेवलप नहीं किए थे, जो कि कॉलिजन फ्रीक्वेंसी एंड बोल्ट्जमैन फैक्टर से या मैक्सवेल बोल्ट्जमैन रिलेशन से आता है। ये इक्वेशन थोड़ा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है, इसलिए इसको हम लोग प्लस 2 में इसको इग्नोर कर देते हैं। रादर हम लोग ये इक्वेशन यूज करते हैं जो कि एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी के साथ कोरिलेटेड है। तो दोनों ही इक्वेशन आप यूज कर सकते हो, बट यहाँ पे आप कॉलिजन फ्रीक्वेंसी एंड बोल्ट्जमैन फैक्टर यूज करते हो, यहाँ पे ओनली बोल्ट्जमैन फैक्टर यूज करते हो, कॉलिजन फ्रीक्वेंसी को पूरा ओमिट कर देते हो बाय आरएनएस फैक्टर। दोनों का फॉर्मेट ऑफ राइटिंग द इक्वेशन और ये इक्वेशन का जो बेस है वो प्रीवियस जो ओरिजिनल इक्वेशन कॉलिजन फ्रीक्वेंसी से, कॉलिजन थ्योरी से निकाले हैं, उसी इक्वेशन को बेस करके इसको लिखा गया है। फर्क ये है कि डायरेक्टली में जो टर्म्स व्हिच आर नॉट सिग्निफिकेंट उसको मैं कांस्टेंट की तरह यहाँ पे लिखा हूँ। आरएनएस फैक्टर एक्चुअली क्या कांस्टेंट है, थोड़ा बहुत ये भी चेंज होता है। आरएनएस फैक्टर भी थोड़ा बहुत चेंज होता है विद टेम्परेचर। एक्चुअली आरएनएस फैक्टर एंट्रोपी के साथ रिलेटेड है, मैं बाद में बोलूंगा आपको। आई विल डेवलप अ रिलेशन फॉर आरएनएस फैक्टर एंड एंट्रोपी, ये भी क्वेश्चन आता है एग्जाम में, बट ये सब चीज आरएनएस को पता नहीं था, बाद में हम लोग उसको निकाले हैं। तो एंट्रोपी भी तो टेम्परेचर के साथ चेंज होता है ना, तो आरएनएस फैक्टर भी थोड़ा बहुत चेंज होता है, बट वो उस टाइम में उसको कांस्टेंट ले गया है। एंड ये जो थ्रेशोल्ड एनर्जी पहले था मैक्सवेल बोल्ट्जमैन रिलेशन में, उसको वो रिप्लेस किया है एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी के साथ।
ठीक है सर।
आपको मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूं कि थोड़ा आपको माइंड में आएगा कि हाउ आरएनएस हैज रिटन दिस इक्वेशन, आरएनएस ने कैसे ये लिखा। आप यहाँ पे रेट लिखो या रेट कांस्टेंट लिखो, डज नॉट मैटर। ओके, के एंड टेम्परेचर दे आर रिलेटेड, रेट एंड टेम्परेचर दे आर आल्सो रिलेटेड। तो रेट आप यहाँ पे रेट भी लिख सकते हो, रेट कांस्टेंट भी लिख सकते हो, बट आरएनएस इक्वेशन में ये रेट कांस्टेंट ही है। K, and K is always a function of temperature. Okay. तो anyway, my point is that आपका एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी जो है वो दैट इज a डायरेक्ट मेजर ऑफ रेट. ओके, एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी जितना ज्यादा होगा आपका रेट ऑफ द रिएक्शन, रेट कांस्टेंट उतना कम हो जाएगा, क्योंकि ये एनर्जी बैरियर को इंडिकेट करता है. जितना ज्यादा एनर्जी बैरियर होगा आपको उतना डिफिकल्टी होगा टू रीच द प्रोडक्ट. जैसे मैं बोल रहा था आपको शायद वो जो स्प्रिंटर के बारे में, जो हर्डल्स रेस में दौड़ रहा है एक स्प्रिंटर, आप अगर हर्डल्स का हाइट को जितना बढ़ाओगे, बैरियर जितना बढ़ाओगे, नंबर ऑफ बैरियर्स और हर्डल का हाइट, बैरियर का हाइट, डेफिनेटली स्प्रिंटर विल फील a lot of difficulty in crossing over the hurdles. Definitely the speed will be reduced accordingly. Okay, so आपको अगर रेट बढ़ाना है तो हर्डल्स हाइट को कम करना पड़ेगा या स्प्रिंटर को एनर्जाइज करना पड़ेगा. आप टेम्परेचर बढ़ाओगे तो स्प्रिंटर विल बी, मॉलिक्यूल्स विल बी एनर्जाइज्ड. आप अगर स्प्रिंटर को थोड़ा एनर्जी ड्रिंक्स दे दोगे तो डेफिनेटली he or she will be energized and will it will be easy for her or him to cross the hurdles. Very similar sprinter running through a hurdles race, or molecules are getting converted into products from reactant to product. सेम ही है, बैरियर है, दोनों में बैरियर है. एंड रेट को बढ़ाने के लिए आपके पास दो ऑप्शन है, either you can energize the molecules or you can reduce the barrier height. ओके, बैरियर हाइट को रिड्यूस करने का जो काम है वो कैटलिस्ट करता है, एंड एनर्जी को एनर्जाइज करने का जो काम है वो टेम्परेचर करता है. Am I clear? मैं बोला था ना प्रीवियस क्लासेस में, या नहीं बोला था? यस,
बोले थे सर.
सो आगे चलते हैं. जो एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी का थोड़ा इवैल्यूएट कर देते हैं. Evaluation of activation energy. Then we'll go to the problems evaluation of activation energy. ये एक बहुत important area है जहाँ से you can expect some questions in the examination. So we can go for graphical evaluation as well as analytical evaluation. We can go for graphical evaluation. We can also go for analytical evaluation. Graphical में आप only वो जो इक्वेशन है k is equal to a e to the power minus ea by rt, दोनों साइड में आप ln ले लो. ln k is equal to ln a minus ea by rt. This is something we can say that in the format of y, this is mx and this is c, and we can have a straight line equation, and we can plot ln k as a function of 1 by t. So we are going to get a straight line y is equal to mx plus c format with negative slope. So that will look something like this. And this part is actually your ln a, and the slope, if you calculate the slope will be actually ea by r, no doubt minus. So अगर एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी आपको कैलकुलेट करना है तो स्लोप इनटू r. यस
सर, कैन यू प्लीज स्क्रॉल अ लिटिल बिट ऊपर अप थोड़ा सा? हाँ सर, थैंक यू सर, देखना था कुछ.
तो मैं एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी को इवैल्यूएट करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. अगर आपको ग्राफ के थ्रू करना है तो you can do like this. Okay, so at some temperatures you can calculate the rate constant, and then you plot that ln k as a function of 1 by t. The slope निकालना है वो लाइन का. Once you find the slope, you can calculate the activation energy by multiplying r. Minus होगा. Okay, coming to analytical evaluation, that is a little bit easy. Let k1 and k2 be rate constants at t1 and t2 respectively. And यहाँ पे मैं एक assumption लेता हूँ कि t2 is greater than t1. तो दो रिलेशन में अभी लिख सकता हूँ. ln k2 is equal to ln A minus EA by RT2 and ln K1 is equal to ln A minus EA by RT1. So if I minus, then this will be cancelled out and this will be ln K2 by K1 is equal to EA by R. This is T2 minus T1 by T1. Am I correct? Yes.
हाँ सर.
Yes, sir.
This is a relation which can be utilized for activation energy evaluation. And remember, this is how we can calculate analytically activation energy. And you can see this is very similar to that Van 't Hoff
Sir, entropy.
isochore, is not it? ये Van 't Hoff equation की तरह दिख रहा है, but this is not same as Van 't Hoff. Remember, this is not exactly same as Van 't Hoff because in Van 't Hoff we will be having that equilibrium constants here, and here that will be enthalpy of reaction delta H naught, standard enthalpy, is not it? So Van 't Hoff isochore and आपका Clapeyron-Clausius equation and this equation, Arrhenius equation, all looks very similar with a very slight difference. So it should be carefully marked down. Okay. Now we can go for the some problem solving, and let me go through the first question. Let us first calculate the collision frequency, जो कि आपका basic चीज है. Find the collision frequency. मैं आपको बोला था I will calculate for you, so let me calculate. Find the collision frequency in a sample of nitrogen at 1 atmospheric pressure and 298 Kelvin. Given diameter of nitrogen is 3.7 angstrom. Can you do it? Yes.
हाँ सर.
So formula will be definitely Z will be equal to that 2 pi. Oh, pi तो हम हटा दिए थे. 2n square sigma square 2n square sigma square, that pi RT by m root over theta. So values actually you have to find it out. N value आपको निकालना है. Sigma value is actually giving here 3.7 angstrom. Molecular mass of nitrogen is 28. M is 28, that you know. Molar mass 28 gram. And sigma is also, you know, 3.7 angstrom. Okay, so 3.7 angstrom means that depends on if you are putting in CGS unit grams, so centimeter में आपको डालना है. And then N actually you have to find it out. बाकी temperature is given 298 Kelvin. So what else is required? Pi value 3.14 you can put. Okay. So N actually you have to find it out. Everything is there, but N you have to find it out. Number of molecules
सर
per
थोड़ा ऊपर
cc.
जाइए ना.
Yes.
सर थोड़ा ऊपर जाइए ना. क्वेश्चन दिखाए ना एक बार. हाँ सर.
तो number of molecules आपको निकालना है. Number of molecules I am giving you. I have already calculated 2.46 10 to the power 90. ये आपको कैसे कैलकुलेशन करना है याद है तो मोल से आपको कैलकुलेट करना पड़ेगा. हाउ मेनी मोल्स आर देयर. So you can put that PV is equal to nRT and find that N is equal to PV by RT. Once you calculate N, then you multiply 6.023 10 to the power 23. This is one approach. Or you can calculate that P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. You calculate the STP volume, V2 STP volume, and then you can put 22.4 liters contains 6.023 10 to the power 23 molecules, and whatever volume we are getting, that contains how many molecules. Can you try? Yes. और एक चीज हो सकता है, यहाँ पे अगर आप 298 नहीं लेते हुए आप 273 ले लोगे तो काम हो जाएगा. If you take your 273, then आपको directly 1 atmosphere 273 is STP condition. Do you understand? So 22,400 cc contains Avogadro number of molecules. So 1 cc contains divided by 22,400. Do you understand what I am saying? समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं?
यस सर.
1 cc में कितना मॉलिक्यूल आपको कैलकुलेट करना है ना. दिस इज पर cc. ओके.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर. सर ये वाले क्वेश्चन पे PV इक्वल्स टू NIT जो आपने किया उस पे सब तो STP वाला वैल्यू लेना है ना, P और V का.
नो, ये कंडीशन, गिवन कंडीशन. ये आप STP कन्वर्ट करने की जरूरत नहीं. ये 1 स्टेप में आपको मोल मिल जाएगा.
ओके.
ये आपको 1 स्टेप में आपको मोल मिल जाएगा. यहाँ पे आप STP में कर रहे हैं. मीन्स इनिशियल प्रेशर 1 एटमॉस्फेयर, इनिशियल वॉल्यूम 1 cc, सपोज 1 cc में आपको करना है ना, तो P1 इज इक्वल टू 1 एटमॉस्फेयर दिया है. V1 1 cc, T1 298, सो P2 सेम 1 एटमॉस्फेयर, V2 आपको निकालना है, T2 इज 273. यू अंडरस्टैंड?
यस सर. सर क्वेश्चन पे V तो नहीं दिया ना, P दिया है सिर्फ 1 atm.
भी नहीं देगा ना, आपको पर cc कैलकुलेट करना है ना.
ओके सर. ओके सर.
पर क्यूबिक सेंटीमीटर. तो आप V2 निकाल देंगे. once you like find out V2, then 22,400 cc contains Avogadro number of molecules. जितना आपको यहाँ पे आएगा उतना कंटेंट्स कितना molecule. Do you understand? Yes. यहाँ पे इजी भी है, आपको और भी छोटा रिलेशन आप कर सकते हो क्योंकि दोनों 1 एटमॉस्फेयर है. तो V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2 भी कर सकते हो. तो V2 कितना हो जाएगा यहाँ पे? V2 is equal to V1 T2 by T1. That means V1 is 1, T2 is what? 273 divided by 298. हो गया? कितना हुआ बोलो? 273 by 298. Can anybody calculate and tell me? V2 is equal to 1 cc into 273 by 298. कितना हुआ?
0.916.
The 0.916.
That means वो 1 cc जो गिवन कंडीशन में है वो STP कंडीशन में ये है 0.9. तो कितना होगा नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल्स? N is equal to आपको 22,400 cc में Avogadro नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल्स है, तो 1 cc में डिवाइड बाय 22,400 इनटू 0.91. अरे समझ में आया कि नहीं? यस. तो ये वैल्यू मैं बोल रहा हूं कि 2.46 10 to the power 19. अभी समझ में आया कैसे कैलकुलेशन किया? प्रॉब्लम एक्चुअली है कि आपका ये कंडीशन अगर मैं 2 एटमॉस्फेयर कर दूंगा, टेम्परेचर को चेंज कर दूंगा तो प्रॉब्लम. अगर STP में लिखता हूं फाइंड द कॉलिजन फ्रीक्वेंसी इन अ सैंपल ऑफ नाइट्रोजन एट STP, तो थिंग्स बिकम्स मच मोर इजी. डायरेक्टली आपको हो जाए. समझ में आ रहा है? तो
यस सर.
तो ये आपका हो गया. वहां पे डाल दो, फॉर्मूला में डाल दो. तो N आपका हो गया, सिग्मा पता है, मास पता है, टेम्परेचर पता है, सब डाल दोगे तो Z वैल्यू जो है आई हैव कैलकुलेटेड इट टू बी 8.98 into 10 to the power 28. आप सोच लो 28 मींस 10 to the power 5 मोल्स का बात कर रहा हूं. इज नॉट इट? आप कैलकुलेट करके देखना. मैं आपको बोला था कि कॉलिजन फ्रीक्वेंसी इज वेरी वेरी हाई. सो ये प्रैक्टिकली हम लोग कैलकुलेट करके देख सकते हैं कि कितना आ रहा है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 हम लोग दिस इज द simplest question that can be asked from activation energy. Temperature coefficient of a reaction is 2. Find activation energy. Can you do this?
Yes, sir.
So 1 minute you can think. Temperature coefficient of a reaction is 2. Find activation energy. What is the relation we have to utilize? That is Arrhenius equation. What is that? ln K2 by
By
K1.
2
Activation energy by R.
T2 minus T1 by T1 T2.
Exactly. So temperature coefficient is given. Temperature coefficient is the ratio of rate constant differing by 10 degree. मैं आपको बोला था, if nobody is telling anything to you, so you should take K308 divided by K298. Is not it? This is given. So you can directly put that ln2 is equal to activation energy आपको निकालना है. R वैल्यू आप कोई भी यूनिट में डाल सकते हो. जिस यूनिट में डालोगे उस अकॉर्डिंग के आंसर will be there. So this is 308 minus 298 divided by 298. Cannot you calculate activation energy? Yes. अरे हो जाएगा कि नहीं?
हो जाएगा
हो
सर।
जाएगा।
कितना आ रहा है? Can anybody calculate? ln2 is 0.3 into 2, 2.303. Something 6.699. I'm calculating or I will calculate.
So calculating sir.
Okay. So बोलो कितना आ रहा है? जूल में आएगा. ln2 का वैल्यू 2.303 log 2.
5.28 kilojoule.
है
5.28 kilojoule.
5 point.
52.8 kilojoule.
हाँ. 52.8 kilojoule. Okay. You can check it. कोई अगर दूसरा भी कैलकुलेट करना है चेक कर सकते हो आप. ओके. और एक क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 3. For a first order reaction, it is observed that the reaction is 50% complete in 25 minutes at 27 degrees Celsius and 5 minutes at 37 degrees Celsius. Find activation. किसी का एक माइक ओपन है. Can you think of this question? Actually, I always have intention that you should be exposed to different way of getting a question in the examination.
So we can directly T half formula. We can find K by T half formula.
So 50% complete means half-life. Okay. So this is a first order reaction. So you know the relation between rate constant and half-life. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
So you can calculate the rate constant at 27 and rate constant at 37. So can I write that 27 means K300 is equal to what? 0.693 by 25 minute inverse, and K310 is equal to 0.693 by 5 millicalories. Correct? Yes. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
So once you get rate constants, cannot you get activation energy? ln K310 by K300 is equal to activation energy by R. यही तो रिलेशन है ना? तो आप डाल दोगे वैल्यूज. This is ln 0.693 by 25, 0.693 by 5. Activation energy 8.314, 10 divided by 300 into 300. तो कैलकुलेशन हो जाएगा.
Yes, sir.
ये तो 1/5 हो जाएगा. 1/5 मीन्स 0.2. ये एक्चुअली आपका हो जाएगा ln 0.2. दिस इज 8.314. ये एक जीरो तो कैलकुलेशन बना ये हो जाएगा.
सर LN5 नहीं आएगा?
5. दिस इज
5.111 आ रहा है सर. सर करेंगे LN5.
ln5
0.693 by 5 by 0.25.
सर ln 1/5 आएगा.
हाँ, इसलिए तो 0.2 लिखा हूँ.
सर आई गेस आपने उल्टा लिख दिया है सर. K310 पर 0.693 by 5 था, आपने ऑपोजिट कर दिया है.
ओहो,
हाँ सर.
पहले मैं 300 लिखा हूँ. अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा. ओके 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 ओके. वेरी सॉरी. जीरो 0.693 by 5. ये 25 ना?
यस सर.
ठीक है ठीक है. सॉरी. ln5. So this is 1/30 into 310. जो भी है. तो एक्टिवेशन जब कितना आ रहा है? आंसर कितना आ रहा है?
124.44 kilojoule.
124.
Yes, sir.
0.4. तो check it है. आप थोड़ा इसको चेक भी कर सकते हो. So one more question. Let's see. Another. Actually, I want to do this because these are some of the extreme possibilities you can get. A catalyst presence में हो सकता है आपका. Very interesting question. A reaction is carried out at 500 Kelvin. If the same reaction is carried out in presence of a catalyst, at the same rate, then temperature required is 400 Kelvin. Find activation energy if catalyst is capable of reducing activation energy by 20 kilojoule per minute. मैं बोलता हूं ये क्वेश्चन तो कोई शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन में भी डाल सकता है. दिस क्वेश्चन कैन बी आस्क्ड एज ए शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन. Can you think over the question for 1 minute? एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एरिया है जहां से आपको एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन आएगा। बोल सकता है कोई कैसे करे?
आरएनएस वाला से
आरएनएस तो डेफिनेटली क्वेश्चन समझ में पहले आ जाना चाहिए कि वो क्या बोल रहा है। वो रिएक्शन को 500 केल्विन में कर रहा था। जब कैटलिस्ट यूज किया तो कैटलिस्ट यूज करने से क्या होना चाहिए? रेट तो बढ़ जाएगा, है कि नहीं? बट वो क्या बोल रहा है? नहीं, आई हैव टू डू दैट इन द सेम रेट। कैटलिस्ट भी यूज करूंगा, सेम रेट में भी करूंगा, तो क्या करूंगा? दूसरा जो फैक्टर है रेट को इन्फ्लुएंस करता है, मैं कुछ चेंजेस वहां पे करूंगा। तो व्हाट आई एम डूइंग, आई एम रिड्यूसिंग द टेम्परेचर, क्योंकि मुझे पता है कि टेम्परेचर कम करने से रेट कम हो जाए। तो जो रिएक्शन रेट 500 केल्विन में था, सेम रेट में मैं अगर कैटलिस्ट प्रेजेंस में करूंगा तो आई कैन रिड्यूस द टेम्परेचर टू 400। 400 में वही रेट में हो रहा है। तो मुझे एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी कैलकुलेशन करना है। एंड आपको तो पता है कि कैटलिस्ट का काम क्या है, तो रिड्यूस द एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी, तो वो 20 किलो जूल कम करना है। तो इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ कैटलिस्ट, इन एब्सेंस एंड इन प्रेजेंस रेट तो सेम है ना? डू यू अंडरस्टैंड? तो रेट इन
100 है क्या?
in yes in absence of catalyst is equal to rate in presence of catalyst। बट ये 500 में है, ये 400 में है, तो ये आप डाल देते हैं a e to the power minus EA by 500 500 R। this is a e to the power EA minus 20 by 400। Can I write?
Yes, sir.
तो ये कैंसल हो जाएगा, तो EA by 500 R is equal to EA minus 20 by 400 R। तो इसको सॉल्व कर दो, आपको एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी आएगा 100। यूनिट क्या आएगा?
किलो जूल्स।
तो cannot I ask this question in a short question? अरे समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं?
हाँ सर।
तो इतना बड़ा क्वेश्चन है, बट इट कैन बी आस्क्ड एज अ शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन। सिंपल सा कैलकुलेशन है। तो दिस इज अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन। ओके, वन मोर क्वेश्चन, बट आई विल लीव यू फॉर योर, यू विल ट्राई टू सॉल्व इट। और भी कुछ क्वेश्चन है वहां पे प्रैक्टिस सेट में एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी से रिलेटेड, बट रिमेंबर ऑल क्वेश्चंस आर डिफरेंट। जितना भी कर रहा हूं यहाँ पे भी, वहां पे जो बाकी जो एक दो वेराइटी वहां पे दिया हूं वो भी इससे अलग है, थोड़ा बहुत अलग है। सेम कॉन्सेप्ट बट थोड़ा अलग आपको सोचना पड़ेगा। इफ एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी, यहाँ पे एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी गिवन, एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी ऑफ ए रिएक्शन इज 80.9 किलोजूल पर मोल, find the fraction of molecules at 400 degrees Celsius which have enough energy to form the product। ये समझ में आ रहा है? बोल देता हूं क्योंकि ज्यादा टाइम तो नहीं है। ये समझ में आ रहा है?
सर ये बोल्ट्जमैन से करेंगे।
एग्जैक्टली, क्योंकि आपको पता है कि फ्रैक्शन, हम तो आस्किंग ऑफ एफ ही पूछ रहा है, e to the power minus EA by R। So e to the power minus E is 80.9 10 to the power 3 divided by 8.314 into 673. Is not it?
हाँ सर.
And calculate. जो आएगा आपका आंसर. So some other questions are there. You just go through them. इसका आंसर मैं बोल देता हूँ, आप चेक कर लोगे. 5 into ये एक्चुअली मेरा बुक का क्वेश्चन है, इसलिए आई हैव टेकन डाउन द आंसर्स फ्रॉम द बुक. 10 to the power -7. अब थोड़ा चेक करना है, ठीक है
सर. सर हम लोग का जब एग्जाम में हम लोग को आंसर देना होगा तब कितना डेसिमल प्लेसेस तक प्रिसिशन रखना होगा?
2 decimal 1 2 decimal enough.
ठीक है.
That depends actually the other factor. Okay, whenever the factors are very small or very large, huge 10 to the power factor के ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा डिपेंड करता है. वो अगर मैं अगर 10 to the power -37 बोल रहा हूँ, in that case और 10 to 37 बोल रहा हूँ, वहाँ पे हायर डेसिमल पॉइंट्स का रोल इतना नहीं होता है. बोलो.
तो जैसे एक क्वेश्चन जो था ना जिसमें ln5 हम लोगों ने करा था, तो उस पे अगर मैंने 2 या 3 डेसिमल तक लेकर सॉल्व किया था तो
कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. यू आर यूजिंग कैलकुलेटर, आपके पास ऑप्शन है, बट मेनी टाइम्स मैक्सिमम 2-3 डेसिमल से ऊपर जाने की जरूरत नहीं.
तो आंसर काफी वेरी कर रहा था, 1000 जूल से वेरी कर रहा था.
नहीं होगा ना, ये मैं वही बोला ना, फैक्टर के ऊपर ज्यादा डिपेंड करता है.
Yes, sir.
वो जो 10 to the power फैक्टर है ना, उसके ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा डिपेंड करता है. तो आप 2-3 डेसिमल तक लेके कैलकुलेशन करो, नो प्रॉब्लम. ठीक है, बोलो. ओके, सो दिस इज हाउ you can calculate the activation energy, but remember activation energy से क्वेश्चन ज्यादातर एग्जाम में आने की चांसेस है, इसलिए मैं उसको इम्पोर्टेंट करके आपको समझाया हूँ. ठीक है. एंड कोई अगर बोलता है कि कॉलिजन थ्योरी के बेसिस में आप टेम्परेचर इफेक्ट एक्सप्लेन करने की कोशिश कीजिए, तो यू कैन टेक द पेरेंट इक्वेशन, जो आपका बेसिक इक्वेशन है, इसको ले सकते हो, या आरएनएस इक्वेशन ले सकते हो. दोनों ही इक्वली कैपेबल ऑफ एक्सप्लेनिंग द इफेक्ट ऑफ टेम्परेचर है. दैट इज द ओरिजिनल इक्वेशन. इफ यू टेक द ओरिजिनल इक्वेशन इट इज गुड, बट आरएनएस इक्वेशन भी एनफ है फॉर एक्सप्लेनिंग द इफेक्ट ऑफ टेम्परेचर ऑन रेट ऑफ रिएक्शन. दोनों ही ठीक है, दोनों आप ले सकते हो. ओके, डिपेंडिंग ऑन मार्क यू हैव टू थिंक व्हाट यू हैव टू डू. बट आरएनएस का जो ओरिजिनल इक्वेशन को लेटर ऑन थोड़ा मॉडिफाई करके वो एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी को ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस वो दिया है. ओके, एंड एज पर द आरएनएस एक्चुअली क्या है ना, मॉलिक्यूल्स गेट एक्टिवेटेड थ्रू कोलिजन. ठीक है, तो एक्टिवेशन इज पॉसिबल थ्रू कोलिजन, वो उसका कॉन्सेप्ट है. एनीवे, तो लिमिटेशंस, इफ यू लुक एट लिमिटेशंस ऑफ कोलिजन थ्योरी, ऑलरेडी मैं आपको बहुत कुछ चीज बोल चुका हूं, जिसमें आपका पहला तो इट इज लिमिटेड टू बायोमोलिकुलर गैसियस रिएक्शंस. याद है कि नहीं, मैं बोला था? यस.
Yes, sir.
Unimolecular reactions cannot be discussed with respect to collision theory because collision के लिए तो मिनिमम 2 मॉलिक्यूल आपको चाहिए. तो बायोमोलिकुलर रिएक्शंस ये अच्छी तरह से एक्सप्लेन कर सकता है, एंड सॉल्यूशन फेज में भी ये रिएक्शन को एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर सकता. सेकेंड थिंग इज दैट द थ्योरी इज साइलेंट अबाउट the role of vibrational and translational energy. Oh, sorry, vibrational and rotational energy. ये तो काइनेटिक एनर्जी को कंसीडर कर रहा है ना, करेक्ट?
Yes, sir.
तो रोल ऑफ वाइब्रेशनल एंड रोटेशनल energy. Actually, it considers only translational energy. Kinetic energy को consider करता है. तीसरा, silent about P, orientation factor और probability factor. इज नॉट इट। ओरिएंटेशन फैक्टर के बारे में कुछ नहीं बोल रहा है। यस
Yes, sir.
सो
तो प्रोबेबिलिटी सेम है, प्रोबेबिलिटी और ओरिएंटेशन फैक्टर सेम है।
हाँ सही, पी फैक्टर और प्रोबेबिलिटी फैक्टर और ओरिएंटेशन। So next thing is that we have to go through a modified theory. Just I will take 1 minute. We'll go through a modified theory which will be helpful in discussing the unimolecular reactions. हमको नेक्स्ट काम वर्क जो करना है वो है कि कॉलिजन थ्योरी को थोड़ा बहुत मॉडिफाई करेंगे सो दैट एटलीस्ट ये जो प्रॉब्लम है बायोमोलिकुलर, इसको थोड़ा हम ओवरकम करके वी कैन एक्सप्रेस, वी कैन हैव अ रिलेशन फॉर यूनिमोलिकुलर रिएक्शंस, विल बी एबल टू डिस्कस यूनिमोलिकुलर रिएक्शंस। सो नेक्स्ट वर्क जो हमारा होगा वो होगा मॉडिफाइड collision theory, modified collision theory for actually unimolecular reactions, unimolecular reactions। आपका अभी क्लास होगा ना?
Yes, sir.
यस सर।
तो we will discuss this tomorrow। next class में हम उसको खत्म करेंगे and I will be discussing some of the things which are actually left, that Z12 उसको भी बोलूंगा नेक्स्ट क्लास में। शुरुआत में मुझे बोल देना, ये मैं पहले बोल दूंगा आपको Z12 कैसे निकालना है। आज तो टाइम नहीं है, तो ये पहले बोलूंगा, उसके बाद आई विल गो टू मॉडिफाइड कॉलिजन थ्योरी। थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
थोड़ा
Okay, so we will, I think we have already completed 5 minutes. So let us do one thing. Let me start, because as such, I'm not going to teach anything. I will be sharing the important questions with you and along with the answers. Okay, so you have to study from these questions only. Now, don't study from here and there. Study from these questions, because as I said that I'll be giving you the answers as well. So you don't have to do anything about it. Just study those questions along with the answers. That would be enough for your professional communication mid-semester exam. Okay, you have got 20 marks. So I'll tell you from where you have to study, what you have to study. Okay, so should I start? Are you all ready with your pen and paper? Good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. Ready.
So should I start now? Should I start dictating?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Right on the first question.
Ma'am, just a minute.
Okay. Do one thing. You write in that document so that it can be like, now for example, I'll complete, suppose say for example 10 questions are there. Okay. And after that, after the mid semester is over, before your end semester, I'll again give you important question. So you will continue from there. Okay. So write in such a way. Don't think that it is only for mid semester after something read and forgotten. It's not like that. So you will continue for your important questions in your end semester also. Okay. So now I think Gitika, now I can start.
Ma'am, what are we doing now? I
Important
joined.
questions. Important
Okay.
questions. Okay. Write down the first question. Explain the process of communication. Explain the process of communication with the help of a neat diagram. Explain the process of communication with the help of a neat diagram. Then the second question is, what do you mean by verbal communication? What do you mean by verbal communication? Question mark. Explain the types of verbal communication. Same question. Explain the types of verbal communication. Followed by its advantages and disadvantages. Its advantages and disadvantages. Third one. What do you mean by visual communication? What do you mean by visual communication / sign language? SIGN LANGUAGE / sign language. Explain with examples. Explain with examples. The next question. What is an auditory communication? What is an auditory communication? Explain with examples. Explain with examples. Next question. What do you mean by body language? What do you mean by body language? What are the types of body language? What are the types of body language? Explain with examples. Explain with examples. Explain with examples. Next question. What is paralanguage? What is paralanguage? Comma, a question mark. Explain the paralanguage, paralanguage. Explain the paralinguistic features. Explain the paralinguistic features. Paralinguistic features. Then, next question. Define organizational communication. Define organizational communication along with the operating channels, along with the operating formal channels, along with the operating formal channels. With the help of neat sketches, with the help of neat sketches. With the help of neat sketches, SKETCHES. The next question. What do you mean by formal channels of communication? What do you mean by formal channels of communication? Explain the types. Explain the types. And explain the types, giving examples of each. Explain the types, giving examples of each. Next question. What is a grapevine communication? What is a grapevine communication?
Spelling.
GRAPEVINE, grapevine communication. Give advantages and disadvantages of it. Give advantages and disadvantages of it. Next question. What do you mean by informal networking channels? What do you mean by informal networking channels?
Informing.
Informal networking channels. Informal networking channels. Explain with the help of a neat diagram. A neat diagram. Then next is, what do you mean by barriers of communication? What do you mean by barriers of communication? Explain the types of barriers. Explain the types of barriers. With examples. With examples. Next question. Time and tense are not same. Time and tense are not same. slash means these are the two questions, but answers are same. Okay, slash mention
Can you
6
repeat the question?
time and tense are not same. Slash mention 6 ways of referring future. Mention 6 ways of referring future. Okay. Now there are some short questions to distinguish between. Next, number 2.
Once again, can you repeat this question? This question.
Mention 6 ways of referring future.
No,
Or time and tense.
Time and tense are not same. After that,
Slash, I said. Okay. Next question, distinguish between. Distinguish between technical communication and general communication. Technical communication and general communication. Then number 2.
please repeat first.
Technical communication and general communication. Next, skimming and scanning. Skimming and scanning. SKIMMING. SCANNING. Scanning. Skimming and scanning. The next is intensive reading and extensive reading. Intensive reading and extensive reading. Global comprehension and local comprehension. Global comprehension and local comprehension. Then listening and hearing. Listening and hearing. Blocked categories and categorical thinking. Blocked categories and categorical thinking. Proxemics and chronemics. Proxemics and chronemics. That's it. Okay. Now we will do one thing. Now I'll just start with the answers and please pay attention to it. Okay. For the first question, that is the process of communication. You remember that I had given the notes completely. Don't write from anywhere else. First, you will start with the definition. What is the definition? Communication is the process by which the sender sends the message to the receiver through a medium resulting in an understanding response. This is the definition. You get 1 mark for that. Next, come to the components. Sender, message, medium, receiver, response. One sentence on each. Don't write more than that. Then come to process. Encoding, ideation, encoding, transmission, decoding, response. Again, just 1 or 2 sentences. Okay. How the ideas are formed. Then what happens in encoding. Similarly, what is happening in decoding. In this way you will write. And then the diagram. You remember the diagram I have given. So this only you will write. Just make it to the point. Don't write irrelevant things. Another thing is that don't think that I will make it short. Just 1 or 2 sentences I'll write and it will be relevant. Nothing like that. Just write to the point, whatever is required. Okay, if you will write all these things, you get straight 5 marks. Your marks are not cut, you will get straight 5 marks. Okay, this is first question. The second question is, what do you mean by verbal communication? So communication which takes place through the form of either spoken or written form of words, it is known as verbal communication. Types are written communication and oral communication. Written communication definition, you will write the definition that I had dictated, and then any 4 advantages and any 4 disadvantages will come. So directly question will not come. Write down all the in this way. Give any 4 advantages of written communication or any 4 disadvantages of written communication. So this is how question will be asked. So you have to write accordingly. Similarly, what is oral communication, which takes place through spoken form of words and examples, and then what is the any 4 advantages, any 4 disadvantages. Okay, so this is all about your verbal. Next, come to the visual communication or the sign language. So communication which takes place through signs and symbols, posters, pictures, then all those visuals, the colors. So with examples you will write. Then this is how, just this is a short note type of a question, so you will write in this way. Similarly, auditory communication also, that we had discussed through sounds, bells and buzzers, then all these things, tones, with examples. Okay, now come to the body language. For body language, I have discussed the type of body language, and after that what you can do is you can just you will read from here and you will answer the question. I am just sharing the screen with you for that Meenakshi Raman book, and I'll tell you from where you have to write. So you will start from here, kinesics. You will read from here, kinesics. And you have personal appearance, postures. Then examples are here, gestures, facial expression, eye contact, proxemics, then the zones, chronemics, that much. Okay, this is how you will, this much you will study. What happens in Germany, what happens, this one I was discussing. So this is this is the answer for your body language. Now come to the organizational communication. For organizational communication, we will move completely up. Yes, this is the organizational communication. Yeah, so or communication in an organization takes place at different hierarchical order, as we have learned. So this is known as organizational communication, and this is the diagram that you will draw. Don't write other things also. This is the diagram. Okay. Then we will discuss about the channels. So channel is formal communication, refers to the communication that follows the official hierarchy and which is required to do one's job. And the types are, see, vertical. Vertical is, it is of 2 types. It can be either upward or downward. So downward and upward with examples, it is mentioned very nicely. You have to study from here. Horizontal and diagonal, you have to study till this much. Okay, this is the formal. And now coming to the informal. For informal, just 1 minute. Just give me 2 minutes, okay? Not getting that. I'm trying to locate. This is the grapevine communication. So formal we did, now this is informal. So you will get this in the extra supplement that you have been given. So here, what is grapevine communication? Grapevine communication is a form of informal communication, and it takes place in the form of casual gossips and ignoring the hierarchical order. So these are the advantages and disadvantages. So this is the answer to your grapevine communication. Next is, what do you mean by informal networking channels? So informal networking channels, here it follows, just to see here. Okay, forget it. Informal networking channel, when a variety of pattern when communication takes place, it follows a particular pattern. So that is known as informal networking channel. Here it is mentioned. Besides flowing through formal networks, it also travels in an informal network, that is grapevine communication, and it is also known as informal networking channel. So these are the types that we discussed: single strand, gossip, then probability, and then cluster. So this is the answer to your informal networking channel. Okay, and then your next question is, I think, para language. So a para language will be this one. Para language, you see, it refers to the human voice and how words are spoken. So that is the meaning of para language. And the paralinguistic features are quality, volume, pace. This all I discussed: voice modulation, pronunciation. So you will write any 4. Don't write so many. Articulation, pitch, so many are there. So you will answer any 4. Okay. So I hope I'm clear about this. Next, come to your barriers. And I think so this is barriers. Barriers also have discussed all the points with you. You have to write barriers. Just don't, you just write the definition that I had given. Barriers is when the process of communication is either partially blocked or it is fully blocked because of either external or internal agents. It is known as barriers of communication. It is of 3 types. So these are the 3 types. So from here you can study. Okay, this one. Intrapersonal, interpersonal, and organizational. So in intrapersonal, these all I have discussed in your class. Wrong assumption, varied perception, difference in background, wrong inferences, block categories, categorical thinking. Just answer any 4. Okay. In the exam, if it comes, answer any 4. Next comes interpersonal barriers, limited vocabulary, incompatibility between verbal and non-verbal messages, emotional outburst, communication selectivity, cultural variation, poor listening skills, noise in a channel. And then comes the organizational communication. So this is the first you will write what do you mean by organizational communication. Then you will write 2-minute transfer station, fear of superiors, negative tendency, use of inappropriate media, information overload. So this is all about your the answers, that is like till barriers. After that we'll come to the next portion, that is time and tense are not same /6 mention 6 ways of referring future. This one, let me tell you very, very honestly, and you should also listen, because this is the question where maximum students, they make mistake. Number one. Number two is, the moment this question comes, like many students have the habit of, whenever, especially in an online exam, what happens is, what the students do, the moment they see this, immediately they put the question in the Google, and whatever the answer they get from the Google, they copy and paste it. But please, let me tell you, that whenever we get, like whenever you answer your whatever question, your answer paper you submit, after that when it comes to us, we get the percentage of plagiarized content. Okay, so this is KIIT, so you must remember that. And depending on the plagiarism content, I will check the answer. If a person has got 90% plagiarism content, I will not check the paper at all. Okay, because there is no point in checking. And you know that plagiarism is a completely is a crime, is a non-offense, non-bailable crime. Okay, so you must remember that. You must write whatever you are writing, you must write in your own words. Number one. Number two is, this answer, for many students, they have the habit of writing that first 6 ways are there. So first way they will write, I will go there. Number two, I will be going there. Number three, I will have gone there. Number four, I shall go there. In this way, students like. And let me tell you, if this is the answer I get, I'll give you only 1 mark out of 5 or 6, whatever. Now, what are the ways that I have discussed very nicely, very like, what should I say? Clearly, I have discussed that the 6 ways are: number one, simple present. Number two, present continuous. Number three, be plus going to. Number four, be plus infinitive. Number five is number six is simple past. So you will write these points along with two examples of each.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, please.
But wasn't time and tense part of our language lab and not PCOM?
No, if you look at the theory syllabus, it is clearly mentioned that time and tense, subject verb agreement, listening, all these are also included in the theory. It is included in the theory as well as in the lab. If you want, I can just show it to you in the screen share if you want. Or you can refer it by yourself. The syllabus that I have given, please refer to that. You will find that. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Next is, so this is about your time and tense. Yes, Chaitanya, you have some doubt? Okay, now come to the next portion, that is the distinguish. Okay, distinguish between. The distinguish between means what you will do is, I think there are some first one is, okay, I'm not following the sequence because I have not referred to any book. That questions I have given myself, so I'm not following the sequence. If I miss anything, please let me know. General communication and technical communication. For this also you have to, I'll just show you. It is there in page number 5 of your book. You can write any 5. Page number 5, just 1 minute. This is the, I think, page number 5. You see here, general communication, technical communication. I think I've given this also. Maybe in the slides also it is there. I will share the slides with you. Contains general message, contains technical message. All this, any 4 you have to write. Okay. So this is the answer for difference between technical communication and general communication. Next, come to the skimming, scanning, global comprehension and local comprehension, and also extensive reading and intensive reading. You please follow the lab notes that I have given. Okay, I have given it clearly in the notes. Next, come to your difference between listening and hearing. That also I have given in the while I was doing assignment number 2. I gave you the differences. So that also you have to follow from there. Any 4 and any 5 you can write. Okay, and after that you come to the block categories and categorical thinking. So that is there, I think, in the differences it is mentioned clearly in the types of barriers. Intrapersonal barrier, last 2, but block categories and categorical thinking. Just write the definition with examples of each. Next, come to proxemics and chronemics. One is reference of time, the other one is space. So with examples you will write. Any other, if I have left, let me know. Have I left? Any question? Have I left?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. So now, would you like to discuss the previous year question paper, or any doubt you have? Let me know.
Ma'am, can you share us the supplementary book from which you have given the answer of the informal networking channels?
That is supplementary book. I think everyone has got, but
No, ma'am.
it
I
was there
haven't got.
inside. Okay, I'll share it with you. Don't worry.
Yes.
I'll just share it with you, and I'll share it in the group. Okay, so you can study, or if you want, I can share it in the classroom. Not a problem. And now, any other doubt if you have? So should I start with the discussing important questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, please share the previous year questions as well.
Yes, Geetika?
Ma'am, please share the previous year questions as well.
Obviously, I'll share the previous year question papers. Okay, so this is professional communication spring semester. The question is this one. Read the following question and choose the best definition for the italicized word. As soon as the details of the election was released to the media, the newspaper was inundated with calls for too many to be handled effectively. It was, what will be the correct answer?
Flooded, I guess.
Flooded.
Yeah, it will be flooded. In most multinational companies, it is okay to address one senior with his or her first name. It is an American tradition and does not show disrespect of overfamiliarity like we think it does. This is an example of dash cultural communication. Mention one more element of cross-cultural communication. So what it is? We have done this in our interpersonal barrier. Isn't it cultural variation? This will be cultural variation. Mention one more element. You can give one example of this cross-cultural communication. What happens in Like I think I was telling about that pointing your index finger at someone. When you point your index finger at someone, it is okay. In India we address someone who is younger to us by age. Then you can call, but it is not completely considered as a acceptable communication in countries like China and other places. Okay. So leaning backward posture indicates dash. While okay, what does it indicate? Leaning backward.
Gesture.
What is that? It indicates a gesture, no doubt. What gesture does it? Relaxation.
Relaxation.
Yeah. While descriptive gestures indicates what does a descriptive gesture indicate?
Seriousness, concentration. And proactiveness.
Proactiveness. Okay. While deciding, this is the reason why you have to read the book very thoroughly. It is completely given in the book. These all are given in detail. Okay. While deciding the medium of communication in an organization, name 2 factors that should be taken into consideration. What should you take in an organization? Medium?
The content we need to communicate.
Yeah. No, you see here you can what are the channels that we discussed, the formal in the formal channel. So you can write about horizontal, you can write about vertical, you can write about upward and downward, that is vertical. You can write about diagonal. So these are the 2 factors.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, you put up a notice asking the members of your student council to attend a meeting on a specified date. At that time, at a particular time, at the location mentioned. However, on the day of the meeting, you find that some of them have come while others have not turned up. Do you think the communication is complete, and has it been effective? Support your opinion with the reason. Please tell me, answer.
No, ma'am, the process is not complete.
Yes, very good. But what is the reason?
Ma'am, as the receivers are not came up in the meeting, so the process is incomplete by the sender and receiver process.
But what could be the reason why they have not turned up? What could be the reason?
Ma'am, it was not communicated to each other. Ma'am, medical conditions can be an issue.
Technical problem maybe.
You put up a notice asking the members.
Ma'am, the place where we have put the notice must not be
Yeah.
visible to most of the people.
Yeah. So this is an example of assignation of responsibilities not being conducted in a proper way. Okay.
For these type of questions, like again, is there any constructive framework upon which do we need to follow, or it can be something other logical thing?
This you have to use your mind actually.
Oh.
Brain. Okay. Because the theoretical portion I have completed, and you have to use your brain to use like the situation depending on what you have to answer. Because this will not be given in any other place, so that you can know. So you can think about situations. Okay. Read the following sentences and choose the best definition for the italicized word. When the people heard that timid Bob had taken up skydiving, they were
disbelieving.
Disbelieving, yes. They were incredulous. So the meaning of incredulous is disbelieving. Yes, correct. Define pitch. Pitch is there in the para language. Okay. Is it true that we run out of air? We cannot control the pitch of our voice? If we run out of, yes, it is correct.
Yes.
Mention 2 consequences that may crop in if information from grapevine is blindly accepted. Disadvantages of grapevine communication. That is given in the the supplement that I was talking about in column wise manner. A dash is a short silence flanked by words. In speaking, it helps the listener to reflect on dash and digest it accordingly. What it will be? Short silence is pause. We did it in our paralanguage. In speaking, it helps the listener to reflect on
The
the
information.
words. No, words. And digest it accordingly. Because here we are discussing about the voice and the tone and other things. So when we reflect on our words, whatever we are talking, if we reflect on that, then only we will be able to digest it accordingly. True or false? Eyes are not rich source of feedback.
False.
Obviously.
False.
Obviously. One should prefer the wheel and all channels of network. See, this is not in your syllabus because we have only informal channels in our syllabus. So don't worry about that. So this question was given, and then the thing what happened was the students got grace marks because it was not included in this syllabus. Read the following sentence and choose the best definition for the italicized word. Since the townspeople were so dissatisfied, various methods to elevate the situation were debated.
Ease.
Yes. No organization can survive without dash that serves as an instrument to measure its growth and success. What it will be? Tell me.
Constructive opinions.
Opinions, but feedback. But if you will write opinions, then also I will give the marks because opinion, feedback, they all will go together. Most of it is dash and helps in helps in the organizing information and assist in quick decision making. Now what you said, that will be the answer. Constructive. Okay. Extreme anger can create emotionally charged environment where a rational discussion becomes impossible. The situation hints at interpersonal barrier. Tell me, what is the type? Emotional outburst. Huh? In such a situation, messages are dash by the people displaying such behavior. Messages are what? Ignored. You ignore such people whom you see that they are getting angry just for no reason. Okay.
Can't it be misinterpreted?
Yes, it can be. Correct. And as such, one answer could be like, it's not that there will be only one answer for this. It can be one or two answers, but it has to hint at that point, that thing which is closer to the answer. An employee may not be pleased with. Yes, please.
Ma'am, what would be the answer of the first blank in the previous question?
Emotional outburst. Emotional outburst. That is a type of interpersonal barrier. Then an employee, see, again, please don't put it in the chat box because I'm not seeing the chat box. So you just speak it out, whatever doubt you have. Because I'm sharing the screen and I will not be able to read it. An employee may not be pleased with the way his or her boss extracts work from him, but is unable to put his or her point across because of fear of losing the boss goodwill. Name the type of barrier indicated. What should be? Isn't it fear of superiors?
Yes, ma'am.
And then name the type of barrier. Okay. What steps should the boss take in this? The boss should be more familiar and more communicate more with the employees. Okay. So in a written communication, ambiguous sentences, structure, faulty grammar, incorrect punctuations are the type of what type of barrier? Obviously syntactic barrier. While illegible handwriting is that example of illegible handwriting is an example of this could also be an example of semantic barrier. Read the passage and answer the question. So this is reading comprehension. Okay. Now explain how wrong assumption. This is very easy. I mean, wrong assumption directly, direct question. Then develop a paragraph. This is not there this time. Now, as you no longer carries your school uniform, paragraph. Priya is talking to her dog Oreo. Identify the level of communication and explain its characteristics. What type of communication it is? Is talking to her dog. It's interpersonal communication. Then define ideation. I mean, it is completely
Ma'am, in question number 3, it has been asked that a level of communication. So we have to write horizontal or like that.
Level of communication, but will you be able to write this? I mean, is it? How will you say that it is hard? It depends on a person, no? So it can be. What should I say? I mean, horizontal. You cannot say that the person is at the dog is at your same level. Like someone will say it is at my same level. Someone will say it is it is at the lower level. Someone will say it is the upper level. So it is better that instead of going by that, you write the answer as intrapersonal, because it is your own feelings about the person, about your dog. And since the dog is not a human being, you cannot say that it is an interpersonal barrier, but it cannot be organizational barrier also. So only option we are left is interpersonal. So we will not say barrier, we will say it is intrapersonal communication. Okay. I hope I'm able to explain. I hope I'm able to explain you. So this is how you have to find the answer, because direct questions are not going to come in the exam. And define ideation with it. File sharing. Why is appearance important? That is given in your syllabus of your body language. Reading techniques, the different technique of readings, skimming and scanning, global and local comprehension, all these things we will mention. Okay. So this is about your important questions. Now I will share with you, as you said, important questions I will share, and the notes from the communication.
From last class, you were discussing about the presentation that we are supposed to put up as a team. So, would you like to please enhance a bit upon that?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Just you don't have any class now?
No,
After
ma'am. This, no, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No,
Then,
ma'am.
yeah, great. In that case, I'll discuss.
Ma'am, are you sharing the book in the WhatsApp group or classroom?
No, I'm not sharing the book. I'm just sharing with you the question paper, the mid-semester previous year question paper, and also the communication slides that I was teaching now, that I am sharing. And for that, I have to actually, it is there in a WhatsApp group. So I'll share it. I'll just forward it to you because this was shared to me, shared in the other section that I'm taking class. So I'll just forward it to you in your WhatsApp, common WhatsApp group. Okay. So
No,
it
ma'am,
would-
I am talking about the supplementary book.
that only, no? That is some pages only. So
Okay,
actually, I am also not having that. That was shared by some of the students of other section in their WhatsApp group. So what it will be easy for me just to forward that to your group. Okay. So otherwise I have to download it and then I have to upload it. So it will take time. So what I'll do is in the WhatsApp, I'll just share it, forward it with you. Okay, in your group. Okay, and rest I have done this now. The slides that I was teaching from, and also the previous year question. And now you tell me, yeah, regarding the presentation. So presentation, I'm planning that we will have it today is 6th. So next Thursday, not this Thursday, next Thursday. Next Thursday we will have, and no, not next Thursday. Let me think which day we will have. But first you have to be very, you have to get ready. You get ready with some of the groups. I mean, you have to prepare groups. Maybe 7 students, maybe 8 students, depending on your comfortability. So first you form the group by yourself in your class. I mean, discussing with your friends in the class, and then if anyone is not able to, then let me know. I will form their group. Okay, so that we will discuss day after tomorrow, Wednesday, when you come. Okay, and then I'll show you how to make a good presentation, and after that you can start your presentation. Okay.
Ma'am, will there be any particular topic on which we need to present?
No.
No particular
You
topic,
can,
right?
yeah, you can choose your own topic, and it could be on anything big, but it is better that you don't choose anything which is completely serious and theoretical. Kuch halka
Okay.
fulka, okay, very
Okay,
nice,
ma'am.
entertaining, okay, that type of. So
And
that
what
I'll
about
discuss.
the groups?
Hmm?
About the groups?
That's what I'm saying, na, ki you first to discuss among yourself, and Wednesday I will I'll see how many of you have already formed. Those who have not formed, I'll form group with for them.
Fair enough, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So now should I start take the attendance then?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.